I feel like a kid on Christmas right now, to be honest with you. Normally the wheels would have spun right there when I gave it throttle. Ooh, all of that work feels worth it right now.
Jacob has had a limited slip diff waiting to go into his Fiesta ST for months now, and we finally got around to installing it.
About to drive over to your house and just reverse into your driveway and start going.
Here's where we're at. I'm a sleepy boy. Someone has the ability to give Pops and Bang wake up.
Didn't do it.
And didn't do it. So I show up at noon, these assholes are already like ready to pull a transmission out. I'm like, why didn't you call me?
We did it 3 times.
Yeah. Here, you want to hear someone go, fuck, and slam a tool down. What's going on?
This bolt has taken just as long as it's taken me to do the rest of the job so far.
What'd you do without me? What's all this shit on the floor?
Take the headlights off. Had to take the cowl, the windshield cowl off, and the windshield wipers.
Okay.
Which you have to have a wiper puller because they're like. Well, remember you tried to take them off at one point.
I did because we were trying to clean something.
And you're like, those aren't coming off.
Yeah, yep. I remember that.
So we got all that off. Got the induction hose off. Airbox out. Battery and battery tray. Disconnected all your shifter cables.
Yeah.
Took off a couple brackets, and then I've been removing some of the top bolts from the transmission.
Nice.
And that's where we're at. Just got the starter disconnected.
So you're almost ready to drop the transmission out.
Almost. An LSD, baby.
Man.
Yeah.
Say LSD again, we'll make the colors all go crazy.
LSD.
Alright, this is like the most smiles front wheel drive and rear wheel drive combo in the garage right now. Let's take a break from Jacob's LSD install and touch base with Sam about his Miata build. No, because we need to talk about last night we had a fire.
Yeah.
We were feeling real manly.
Yeah.
And I was asking some questions about, you know, you're running 11 pounds of boost. You're like, that's just the bare minimum for the EFR to reach its efficiency.
Yeah.
And I started asking questions like, what would happen? And he said, well, if around, what, 15 pounds of boost, 16 pounds of boost, you start bending rods.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, let's investigate this. And you're like, well, actually, like, probably around 14, 13 and a half, we would end up, like, needing a transmission. Potentially breaking transmission.
Depending on how much torque I make.
Let's add some boost and see what happens.
Yeah. After I turn the boost up, like, watch me do the first, like, bounce off rev limiter here and the engine blows up.
Hold on.
Ready?
No. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. All right, send it. That does sound pretty good.
That's just right. It's not ridiculously loud, but it's just enough to kind of sound good, right?
Yeah, it's not annoying.
Yeah, it's not like gunshots.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Jacob's LSD. This is what most of working on cars is.
Yeah, just looking at instructions.
Just looking at instructions.
Have to do
You
this.
look like a 5-year-old on the carpet getting ready to play Legos. The way your legs are right now is just straight up like you're reading Legos instructions.
This is Legos for adults, man. I could pry. I could get something to pry with.
There we go. On the other side, we'll use a jack stand. Just set it on. It'd probably be a miracle.
Alright, that's good.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's shoved between the axle and the clutch. It's gonna fall once I pull this.
I got my hands under it.
Okay, try it now. There you go.
Just trying to do it easily.
Gently, yeah. Good to go. Look at that. Perfect, dude. Good job.
It is now 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, and we got the transmission out. So next step is break the diff
Yeah, out of the transmission.
from the transmission.
Yep.
And then we're gonna do LSD. Let's do some LSD, boys.
Careful.
Yeah, it'll squirt out.
No!
Not on the camera!
You were really fortunate there, Reed. I would just break them and then take them out with the gun.
Yeah. Voila! Look how clean it looks.
Look at that open differential.
Wow! This is like sex, dude. Look at that shit. Yeah. That's cool. Look at the difference. That's pretty cool.
Oh shit, how are we gonna press that on there? You got a presser? Really smooth. Those are high quality bearings.
Sam's having a little nap, I guess. He's taking a nap. And I guess Jacob is continuing to do some thread locker?
Yep.
Attaching a gear to, what's it called? LSD?
What?
L-
You got some?
Torsen LSD adds a layer of worm gearing and spur gears to the traditional gear setup of an open differential. These gears provide the resistance required to enable torque transfer, whereas an open differential always has to split its torque 50-50 between each wheel. The Torsen LSD is capable of directing a greater percentage of torque through one wheel depending on the ratio of the gears. This removes the power limitation that open differentials suffer because the amount of torque available is not being limited by the amount of traction in either wheel. This is all achieved mechanically without the use of electronics or any form of perishable parts being sacrificed for friction. It's the one you want.
We don't have a press, and we have to press an interference fit with no lube on a metal-to-metal hardened steel surface.
You're trying to push this bearing down onto the LSD with some fender washers and some all thread.
Yeah.
This is genius.
It's gonna go poorly. I think that the one at O'Reilly's, that tool they have, I think might be long enough. It's a C-clamp.
To span that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
How can I help you today? Now, will this one work for the purposes you
We're gonna find out.
We're about to find out.
Our one-day job has become at least a two-day job because we don't have a press that's strong enough or big enough to press these bushings on to the new differential. And so options are, we've already been to two different O'Reilly's looking for a rental tool. Neither of them had what we need. Go to Northern Tool tomorrow and buy a press. So Jacob's just putting new flywheel and clutch onto the transmission, and then tomorrow bearings on diff and transmission, reassemble. So tomorrow ended up being next week because we had to order a new flywheel and wait for it to arrive.
It does feel like it. Maybe a hair faster with a lighter flywheel. It's way different.
Yeah, it does look a lot different.
Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, that's not good.
Tight.
Still a lot of threads left. Yeah. I promise you I did not turn it that much.
Oh my dear
Once
God.
it got hard, I stopped.
Well.
You're bad boy.
I didn't mean to.
Can Sam's wheels turning.
We can cut off the end of the bolt maybe.
Yep, we cut the end off that bolt and cleaned up the threads, but the cameraman did that part, so there's no footage. There you go.
Beautiful. That fits a lot better than the other one, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's like it was made for that.
Finger tight.
Okay.
Turns out we ended up buying a 12-ton press so that we could push the new bearings onto the LSD and the races for those bearings into the transmission case halves. How that should have come with the bearings on it. But if it came like that, you wouldn't have a brand new press in your garage.
That's right. And I'm happy with a brand new press in my garage. Look how beautiful.
Clean the edge of this before we do that to make sure it seals right.
Well, it's coming back apart. How long did we spend?
2 hours probably.
Probably 2 hours. And we found out that Jacob got the only LSD transmission combo that needs no shim.
You know, the gasket maker's pillow soft, so if you drop it from here, it's just gonna catch it.
Yeah, that's Sealy.
Yeah.
Sealy certified.
Yeah.
Just drop it. There she goes.
Actually, you mind if I throw this away? No. There it is. Max, use.
Oh, look, and it's perfect, right in the light for you.
Hot damn.
Do not go up right now.
Go up right now?
No, do not.
Hurry up, send it up.
Okay. Oh, finally. Feels like it's like kind of.
Yeah, it looks pretty level.
Okay.
Once we got the transmission mounted back to the engine, we decided to call it a day and start fresh tomorrow. But I don't know how one person can be so damn unlucky. Wrong flywheel, and O-ring got stuck in the old slave that got thrown away. Oh, a nice little twisty-do on that bolt. On the flywheel bolt. I mean, with the right tools, anything's an easy fix. So you've been working on this since noon.
Yeah, since noon.
Man, it looks like there's an engine in there. Transmission mounts put back on. Wheels are back on the car. Axles are bolted back up. Hey, there's windshield wipers and cowling and a battery and an airbox.
Getting those ball joints back in was not easy.
Jacob got the whole car back together, but when he went to fill up the clutch system, fluid started pouring out. And that's when he learned that a tiny little O-ring that goes in between the clutch line and the slave cylinder got lost. He's got a point.
Yeah. Had I read this guy's annotation when I was taking it out, I would have known. It said, it talks about it right there. This is Legos for adults, man. Tiny rubber O-ring.
Maybe we can figure out what size that O-ring is.
I thought about that. Going
And
and buying
like-
an assortment. That's all we got.
Those are your options.
I think the littlest ones are the ones you want to be looking at.
This is it. This is where it goes. Is just slides up on to that guy.
Look at that.
You got it on?
Take a gander.
You got it.
Let's take a look.
Is it coming out? We'll see if it can take high pressure or not.
The replacement O-ring worked, and we got the clutch system bled, but when we went to start the car, nope, no start.
Did you plug in the starter?
Just got the starter disconnected.
I think something's not plugged in. Yeah, you'll see it immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, here, I'll let you get under there.
And Sam has pointed out the obvious.
Look, I did a lot of stuff today, all right? I did a lot of stuff today. Oh, yeah, you're right.
You see it?
Yeah.
All right, what else is, like, we need to probably go over this car then.
Sam don't trust me. Sam said you can't even put a fucking ground wire on.
I'm not saying that, it's just a little bit of tough love here.
I understand. Oh, shit.
Oh, boys. I'm just excited. I'm excited
That was
to
literally the first thing I saw. I was like, oh,
feel the
goddamn.
diff. There she is. She started up.
We want to check the, see if the slave cylinder's leaking.
Sam wants to check over it with a fine-tooth comb, and Jacob just wants to go drive the damn thing.
Yeah, let's...
This man said, I know you just put a limited slip diff in and a new lighter flywheel and a clutch and a slave cylinder, but you should leave it here for another week so we can check over it. It breaks my heart.
Rev hang's a little better. First gear pull, you'll know right away if it works or not. Yep.
Ooh, all of that work feels worth it right now. Do an LSD.
Hear that, kids? Do LSD.
Do LSD. That's right.